Hello and welcome back to Just for Today. I'm Jamal Normie.
Hey, I'm Miranda, the recovering addict.
And today we're going to talk about the functioning addict, functioning in addiction.
Right.
First thing, we got a scripture.
Today's scripture comes from Jeremiah 17:14. Heal me, Lord, and I will be healed. Save me, and I will be saved. For you are the one I praise.
All right. So basically you need the Lord's help to get you out of stuff, to heal you and to save you. Because we get trapped in our own mess all the time. So functioning addict. So you're a functioning addict, right?
I consider myself, a functioning addict. What do you see? What's a functioning addict to you?
Somebody that doesn't seem like they're an addict. Somebody that seems normal. They're doing all their routines. They seem probably like a super person, but in reality, they're step by step getting closer to, the drug got their teeth in you. It's claws in you. It's a perception thing, really. It's just how the world perceives you, and probably how you perceived yourself. But so tell us a little bit.
Well, I considered myself a functioning addict, but I didn't know, in the beginning, I didn't know I was an addict until 10 years in. Then I knew I had a problem.
So the first 10 years, you didn't know you're an addict. Why didn't you? What in your head made you not be an addict? Because you don't think that you needed to do it? Is that why?
Yeah, well, because I still thought I had control over over my using. So, as in well, first of all, because I was using multiple drugs, and it slowly transformed to harder and harder. So it's smoking weed, which is hanging out on the weekends. Although, my younger age was our friends, it was that's all we did was just come together just to smoke. We had to make sure wherever we were going, we had to smoke. But I didn't know I needed it. It wasn't more of a my body physically needed it. It was just more for social aspect. Even though looking back now, it's that even then that was addiction. We couldn't hang out or do anything, go watch the movie or go bowling or go wherever without, smoking weed first.
Yeah, with that being said, I know a lot of people are low-key addicts and they cannot not do it. They have to smoke weed.
Yeah,
it's part of their routine.
But that wasn't
the regimen.
That was more of it was just it was just routine. It wasn't my body physically needed it at that time. Yeah. And then once I got into the meth use, again, I thought I was controlling it, okay, well, it's only on the weekends. Well, I only do it, when I'm going to do this, so again, I just thought I was controlling it. But to where once I knew I was addicted was the times that I tried to quit and I found myself digging in the trash, I tried to get rid of it and tried to stop, and my body just physically, mentally, my mind couldn't stop, my body couldn't stop, everything was just attached to it. And that's when I knew I was addicted. But for my understanding of a functioning tweaker or functioning addict, I should say, in my head, or even just as a persona, I was getting high all day, every day. And, okay, so I had a job, I had a car, I had a house, I had a family, my kids were fed, I made dinner, all the basics of what an adult is supposed to do was done. And I was able to do it without, because I see, you see addicts on TV or whatever, and they're out on the streets and they're scratching and they can't even form a sentence, to me, that's what people pursue addicts
That's
as.
what I thought of an addict prior to you. Prior to really knowing. And now it makes me question so many people. Not judge, just question if they were even now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And I remember when I was on drugs, you get paranoid or whatever. And I just remember I used to think everyone, I'm I thought everyone was on drugs because like how can they do that without drugs? Because that's what I was doing. I was doing everything on drugs. So it blew my mind that somebody can be a perfect mom or be a perfect worker in their fields, without drugs.
It's weird how this bad thing, this horrible thing inhibits it. Like it makes. It's like another piece of that puzzle to make it whole. Like it enables people, it enabled you to do things that you wouldn't be able to do, or at least you thought you wouldn't be able to do, to be the person that you thought you needed to be.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, because not like you're a bad person though, it's just.
But it's like that's where it turns into like, okay, so I have a disease, and so only like 10% of people, whatever, have this thing inside of them that's just waiting to be switched on, and so
Wait, only 10% of people have what?
The like I don't know, call it like a gene. No, it's I guess I would refer to it as like a gene. It's because it's all passed on, from within generation to generation. So we all have this like addiction. I'll just refer to it as like an addiction gene in us, and so it won't turn on for everyone, but certain situations, it gets switched on, and once that switches on, it's like you officially like have that disease, and you can't just stop. You can't, it's nothing. It's no longer a choice to stop using.
But I don't know. I kind of feel like a lot of more than that small percentage. I feel like most people do, because I'm thinking about it. Can I go a week without eating something sweet? Like
right.
I mean,
yeah. Or even, sorry, go ahead.
No.
I've heard the scenario of like comparing it to like, because people don't understand how it is a disease, and like, well, why can't they just stop? It's like, did I, I chose to put the needle in me. I chose to take these pills. Did I choose to, do all of this, when it's like, it became no longer a choice. Just like if you have diabetes, like there's, did you choose to have diabetes? No, but like the choices led up to you having diabetes. And it's like, okay, well, that you can help prevent the disease from progressing by like taking insulin or changing your diet and your habits or whatnot. It's the same thing with addiction, to where once you have that disease, recovery, working a program is what's supposed to help you ease that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of relearning words, because addict, what's an addict? It's not somebody that's scratching and begging and on the corner and all these things. It's you have functioning addicts, different levels. What's a disease? It's not simply a medical issue that although it's internal, but it's not simply you think of disease, you think of AIDS or whatever, like that's addiction is a disease. It's something that doesn't simply just go away, and it takes work to fix. It's internal. It's in your brain. It's in your blood. Your DNA.
And then just going back to like a functioning addict. I was asked the other day. I was talking to a coworker of mine who she knows I'm in recovery, and she asked. I remember she asked. She's like, "Well, how often did you do it?" And I'm like, "Oh, all day, every day." And she was like, "Well, like even at work?" I'm like, "Oh, especially at work. Like especially when I'm at work. Like I couldn't function if I wasn't on it." And she's like, "Well, how?" She asked me like, "How did I use it?" I'm like, "Well, I would smoke it." And she's like, "Well, where?" I'm like, "Every day at lunch. Like every day at lunch, I would go." Go smoke, go pick up, just go get high, to where it was like a routine, to where in the morning, first thing that I had to do in the morning was to use, just to get me motivated to do my makeup, do my hair, get the kids dressed, get, breakfast ready, get the lunches ready, drop the kids off, then go to work. And I'm like, all right, I'm in the bathroom taking another hit because I need my boost to like, okay, incoming calls, doing the schedule and dealing with patients and, dealing all that. Well, here's lunch. Well, lunch, I need my, my mid-afternoon pick-me-up. So, I go pick up, go smoke, go do whatever. So I can come back and, finish my job and then pick up the kids. The kids had to come to work with me, and just dealing with homework and all of that. Then like going home, as soon as I got home, I had to go to the bathroom and go use. And, okay, we'll have to make dinner. We have to like clean up dinner, have to, get the kids ready for bed, and, dealing with, conversations in between. Okay, well, they're in bed. Well, now I got to go get high. And so I can like do my downtime and get ready for work the next day, do my nails, do my hair or whatever. That was just like my everyday routine. Like, nobody knew though. That was, like nobody knew what I was doing in the bathroom. Nobody knew where I was going at lunch. And, and then it turned into like, doing it on, again, I was trying to control it. So I was like Monday through Friday type of thing. And I would save the weekend to like have my body recuperate so I can like sleep better and get some kind of food inside of me. And then it turned into like, well, nope, I can't last that long now. So, I have to go to the store, take like an hour long to the store so I can go pick up and use and try to like hide, just hide that whole situation, just on the weekend so I can like do my laundry, do all, just hang out, do the barbecue, be that perfect super person.
Isn't that how diseases work it also? Like, you have that little cough, and then, as things progress and more, next thing you know, your hair's falling out, and, you have full-on cancer or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's weird how your resistance, like it's like that cartoon that we watch, everything's all bright, and then you're skipping along, and then you take a little bit, and then you're flying there, and then and then you're going on, and then you take a little bit more, and you don't quite go as high, but you're still up there until you're absorbed and everything's dark, and you take it and nothing happens. And
you try other things, and that's what I did. It went from like weed to meth, and then I took in like Percocet and Oxy, and then it turned into like more funner things like Molly and other stuff. It's like just because you can no longer, it messes with your serotonins and all that. Like you can't get that feeling anymore. And I think that's what kind of led me to my mental breakdown, or like I think that led me to really going outside of my morals. What I knew, like I always had that line I didn't cross. And then mixing in the narcotics, I think that like definitely like loosened my wires up here. And really, I think that, that really like messed up my thinking. And I did things that I shouldn't have done outside my moral compass,
You say because of, like, are you saying because the
mixture of it all, like, so for so long it was just like weed, and then like I would just do the meth, and then I would just do weed just to calm me down at night, and then and sleeping pills, right? So then mix in the sleeping pills, mix in like, then that's what I mean, like the narcotics, as in like Percocet and like Oxy, and then like the psychedelic or whatever you want to call it, like mixing that with everything else I was using, that triggered it. So it's not just like, I'm just using meth. It was like once to the point that, okay, I was using meth for like 10 plus years. Then when I mix in everything else, if I would have been mixing everything else at an earlier time, I would have went crazy at an earlier time. I wouldn't have been able to like maintain that functionality, at work.
And it's crazy how you're not messed up as bad.
Right.
You're not worse than what you are.
Yeah, because it damages you not only like mentally, like internally, like kidneys and
Yeah, God is watching out for you.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but I think, and I also go back and I think, because I maintained that functionality, I went out on the streets to do the bad things, but I wasn't living on the streets. Like I would just go pick up and then, come and use in my own home so I can like maintain that family function, so I think.
If you didn't have a family, then you probably would have been sucked up in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You had
that's what kept me grounded. Like Isaac kept me, like grounded like that. But that was the thing. So I used so I can be a good mom, and like I guess that was always my main focus, was I just wanted to be a good mom.
So then, if you didn't have Isaac, would you have used or would you have not have used?
Who knows? I don't know. I mean, because I was smoking before. I was smoking weed before I had Isaac. I started using meth because I was a single mom and I had to work. I had to.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You
but
did it to
probably because
the crowd and
and I was so insecure and that's why, not why, but like I was very easily influenced, because I didn't have I didn't have a backbone. I never spoke up for myself, and I don't know, just fell into that crowd and just went along with everything. So probably, who knows.
I think, would you say that weed is a gateway drug?
That's what I've heard. I would say, yeah. But anything is a gateway drug. Like gateway, alcohol, cigarettes, weed, like anything that's mood or mind altering is a gateway drug. It's like, because whether you smoke a cigarette, I guess it just, makes you think, well, cigarettes aren't that bad, so let me try it. I think you're just more influenced to try different things. I never thought
of weed as a gateway drug. You hear it all the time. Yeah. I never thought of it as, but it kind of is. It's something that, people could do smoke weed all the time and eat whatever and never do anything else, but it definitely opens that door to be able to use other things, I feel like.
Yeah. But at the same time, I still see it as like that healing component, like the CBD part of it, like using it for like pain.
It's just a plant that has different effects.
Like even though I'm in recovery and like I can't use, like I wouldn't say that means nobody can use, like it's the devil's drug or whatever. Like I would still support it being used for like cancer patients or like, even children who have like these issues going on and, just like a droplet of CBD oil stops their seizures and stuff. Like for medicinal purposes, like I support it,
Isn't that's CBD versus weed though, right?
The THC, yeah. But then the THC also, helps other conditions too, just I guess if used I don't know, now you're getting complicated to where if used properly or under supervision or whatever. If it's not abused, it could be a good thing, but that's the same thing with like anything. Medications, like
any medication or even wine. A glass of wine will it's good for your body.
Red wine, a glass of red wine. It's actually healthy for your heart. A cup of coffee is good for the heart.
So that's anything in moderation. Not anything.
But no, there's certain things that have like a true beneficial component to them.
Yeah. They're not wrong.
It's just that's the thing. Yeah, we end up overdoing it and
take something and they twist and they
But that's where maybe the addiction part. People say, "Oh, I have an addicted personality." It's like, "Oh, well, if I have Starbucks, like, okay, well, I need to get Starbucks like every morning, whether it's Starbucks or I like this perfume, so I have to wear this perfume like every day."
Yep.
It's like so that's kind of like that addiction gene or whatever that we all have.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just a matter of like.
It's just a matter of what it's focused on. It's not simply drug. People that use drugs aren't simply the only addicts. I think it's a lot more than we think, especially in the United States. We got buffets and Starbucks on every corner, and
when people like even get addicted to their work, like they're so
working out and. It's getting addicted to routines, It's not. That's why it's so much deeper than just simply. It's drug addict, but the word that addict can be in so many different.
It's just a disease of addiction.
Yeah.
Addiction. Period.
So we could all be. A lot of us are functioning addicts. We just don't know it. We never thought about it in the way.
Yeah.
People are so unhealthy and can't stop eating all that fattening food. I couldn't stop eating fried chicken. There's no way I could not eat chicken wings. General. There's no way. Like I would love to be vegetarian or a vegan, but it's impossible. It's
not impossible. It's just
it's kind of impossible.
Choose not to.
Yeah, that's the choice.
Yeah.
The addiction.
Yeah, so you have a disease.
I have a disease. It's called.
Every time I hear that, I always think of like the M&M song, like, I have a disease and they don't know what to call it. Like, but he knew what they call it. Like, I think that was when he was in his early stages of recovery, maybe.
Yeah.
And he knows, like, he has a disease and it's called addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's more for lyrics. I'm sure he knew what to actually call it.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's
all right. That's all the time we have for Just for Today. Leave us a comment below. Are you... did that change your perspective on anything? Are you in any of these stages of addiction and don't know it? Are you thinking about it and now you're like, maybe I am an addict? Let's have a conversation. This will be a start to a long conversation. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. But most importantly, remember to keep coming back.
Bye. Oh, stay clean. My hair's sticking up anywhere because I cannot see.
No.
You need to go have a minute to yourself?
I ain't like that.
It's hot in there.
Hello, welcome back to today. Wait, why is that so big?
Because I can't see the bottom line.
All the time. So...
Bless you.
So, wait.
Oh my gosh.
3.
Are you done?
Are you ready?
Yes.
Anything else?
I don't know. Did you take notes?
Take notes for what?
For what you're going to talk about.
We talked.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that's all the time for... let's have a conversation. Keep coming back.
Bye. Oh, stay clean.